Okay, I'm gonna be talking about the mood and tone as well as like the music and lighting for the scene. So obviously that scene is very pivotal in The Miracle Worker, as it's a time that Helen finally has her breakthrough, where she's able to understand the words and that they have meaning and that they relate to like whatever object that Annie is referring to. And it's big because, you know, Helen's story used a lot like for inspiration for the blind and deaf community because she was able to accomplish what no one had done before her. So at least something that I kind of forgot or I had to remind myself is that Annie had no proof that what she was trying to accomplish with Helen could work or would work. You know, like the entire play, like leading up to that point, Annie faced constant doubts from Helen's family on whether or not she can accomplish higher intelligence, higher thought. So in the opening scene, they're at the water pump, and you know, Annie's kind of like aggressively pumping water into Helen's hands and like saying like it has a name, like it has meaning. And so the tone, at least in the very beginning, is kind of almost desperate. You know, Annie's kind of running out of time to prove to Helen's family that she is capable of this. You know, again, up to this point, Helen's family think that the biggest miracle they can hope for is that Helen can have manners or kind of behave normally, but they don't really expect her to achieve enlightenment or intelligence that Annie really wants her to accomplish. But when she finally does have that breakthrough, the tone shifts and it's no longer desperation, it's almost like relief. Like everything she's worked for, everything she accomplished, is built up to something. And there's this moment of like relief and it's very emotional. Annie herself has to like step aside and like take a moment for herself to like really comprehend it. And the music is used really well in this scene because it's kind of meant to exaggerate and really emphasize what's going on. And so there's like this big crescendo of music, almost like angelic sounding, at least that's kind of how I interpreted it. When Helen starts having that breakthrough. And then it kind of calms back down when like the family comes out and there's this really intimate moment between Helen and her parents. And then later when it's Helen and Annie, you know, and they're kind of a lot more close and intimate, the music kind of reflects that by calming down. But I think the music is used really well. The lighting is a little harder to interpret just because it's a black and white film, but you know, a lot of the scene, actually I would say all of the scene is outdoors, even when it shifts to night, she's still like sitting outside. And there are moments where like, especially when the revelation hits for Helen, like her face is literally lights up. So I think the music and lighting was kind of used to help emphasize like what we as an audience are supposed to be feeling in this scene. We're supposed to understand it's super emotional, it's super noteworthy, you know, that kind of stuff.